For over 1,000 years, the great scholars of Tibb and Nabawi pointed to one Sunnah food above all others as the strongest food for the human heart. Allah Himself named it in His book. Ibn Sina catalogued it in his canon. And modern cardiac research is now confirming what our tradition has known all along. Stay with me, and at number 1, I will reveal what it is. Bismillah, let us begin. A quick word before we begin. We have gathered the daily practices of the Beloved, peace be upon him, how his household ate, drank, slept, and healed, into one book, the Sunnah Home Manual. 40 practices, every hadith verified, every source shown. To get your copy, visit sunnahgardens.com. Or pause this video right now, open the camera on your phone, point it at the code on your screen, and tap the link that appears. You will also find the link in the description right below this video. I will not mention it again. If you want it, it is there. Now, let's begin. We begin with the humble mash bean, known to every Persian and South Asian Muslim household. Ibn Sina catalogued it in his canon as a cooling, cleansing food, listing it among the legumes that calm the inner heat of the body. A 2017 study in the Journal of Functional Foods found that mung bean protein meaningfully reduced LDL cholesterol in adults with elevated lipids. The soluble fiber and the plant sterols work together to take pressure off your arteries. A small bowl with rice, a warming soup, a sprouted handful, the way your grandmother served it, was always the right way. Ibn al-Bayṭār, the great Andalusian botanist, wrote of plums as one of the fruits that cool the heart's heat and ease the flow of the blood. A 2010 study in the British Journal of Nutrition followed adults with elevated cholesterol who ate dried plums daily for 6 months. Their LDL fell by around 7%. That is what the plum's fiber and polyphenols do when you let them in regularly. Fresh in summer, dried in winter, the plum is one of those quiet helpers of the heart. The pear, kumithra in classical Arabic, was treasured by the Tibb tradition as a cooling fruit for the heart and the chest. In 2019, the Journal of Nutrition published a study on adults with metabolic syndrome who ate 2 pears every day for 12 weeks. Their blood pressure dropped and their lipid profile improved. Just pears. A pear after dinner, sliced for the children, kept in the bowl on the table. Tarkun is the green-stemmed herb that every Persian and Caucasian Muslim cook keeps within reach. The Tibb tradition listed it among the antioxidant herbs that protect against the slow inner damage that wears the heart down over decades. A 2014 review in Pharmacognosy found that Artemisia dracunculus extract reduced markers of high blood pressure. Toss a few sprigs into a salad, into a yogurt, into a fresh herb plate with bread and cheese. Helion, asparagus, was listed by Ibn Sina in his canon as a warming and cleansing food that supports the heart and the kidneys. In 2018, Nutrition Research published a clinical study in adults with mild hypertension. Daily asparagus extract reduced both their systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The compound responsible is a natural analog of the same molecule that modern pharmaceutical ACE inhibitors are designed around. Allah placed the answer in the plant first. Mulissa, lemon balm, was placed by Ibn al-Bayṭār in the same category as saffron, the gladdeners of the heart, the mafari al-qalb. A 2015 study in the journal Nutrition tested lemon balm extract in patients living with chronic stable angina. After treatment, their anxiety scores dropped and their heart rate variability, the quiet sign of a calm, well-regulated heart, improved. Steep the dried leaves in hot water. Sip it slowly. Kuras, the stinging nettle, was respected across the entire classical Tibb world. Ibn al-Bayṭār listed it as a cleansing, iron-bearing herb that strengthened the blood, and gentled the pressure. In 2013, the Journal of Ethnopharmacology published a study on adults with stage 1 hypertension who took nettle extract daily. Their blood pressure dropped meaningfully, not dramatically, but the way real food works in a real body. Every Egyptian Muslim, every Levantine grandmother knows mulukiya. The companions who settled in Egypt after the conquests adopted it as a daily food. A 2014 study in the Asian Pacific Journal of Tropical Medicine showed that mulukiya extract meaningfully lowered lipid levels. It is rich in potassium, folate, and the soft mucilage fiber that binds cholesterol in your gut before it can reach your blood. A bowl with rice, the way it has always been served. Let me be transparent with you here. The classical Tibb scholars use the term Yaws al-Hind, the Indian nut, and the earliest writers used it for the walnut, while later scholars use the same term for the coconut once trade routes opened. So the lineage is complex. What is not complex is the evidence. A 2005 study in the West Indian Medical Journal showed that fresh coconut water meaningfully reduced blood pressure in adults with mild hypertension. The potassium to magnesium ratio is the highest of any natural beverage. A young coconut opened on a hot day, your heart will thank you. Burdock root, what the Levantines call lus al-Shaitan, was placed by Ibn Sina among the purifiers of the blood. A 2014 study in Inflammopharmacology found that the active compound arctigenin concentrated in the root lowers cholesterol and slows the formation of arterial plaque in animal studies. The inulin fiber in the root also nourishes the gut bacteria that calm inflammation across the circulatory system. Add it to soup, simmer it slowly. Sour cherries, karazhamd in the Tibb tradition, were prescribed by Ibn al-Bayṭār for calming the heart's heat and lowering its fire. A 2018 study in the Journal of Nutritional Science gave older adults tart cherry juice for 12 weeks. Their systolic blood pressure dropped by 7 points. The melatonin in the cherry calms the nervous system. The anthocyanins relax the blood vessels. One small handful in the morning or a small glass of pure juice. The companions who settled the Levant ate fresh mishmish through every summer. Ibn Sina, in his canon, called the apricot soft and easy for the heart. The fresh fruit carries the polyphenols that are lost in drying, and the high potassium content aligns exactly with what modern diet research has shown reduces blood pressure across the population. 2 fresh apricots a day in the warm months when they are at their sweetest. The Sahaba ate organ meats from the animals they slaughtered. Every part of a halal slaughtered animal is permitted. The Tibb tradition operated on a principle the ancients called like cures, like the food that resembles the organ nourishes that organ. The science is concrete. Sheep heart is the single richest natural source of CoQ10, the mitochondrial fuel that powers every contraction of the human heart. 3 ounces of grilled sheep heart can contain 50 to 60 milligrams of CoQ10. Standard muscle meat contains less than 5. Many of our grandparents ate it weekly. The hawthorn was catalogued by Ibn al-Bayṭār as a strengthener of the cardiac muscle. He used those exact words. The Tibb scholars treated it as one of the rare herbs that could, with patient use, gently rebuild a weakened heart. In 2008, the Cochrane collaboration, the gold standard of evidence-based medicine, published a systematic review of hawthorn extract in adults living with chronic heart failure. The result: meaningful improvement in exercise tolerance, in fatigue, in shortness of breath. Few herbal foods have Cochrane-level evidence. Hawthorn does. And now, at number 1, the food Allah Himself named in His book as the most direct support for the human heart. In Surah Qaf, Allah describes the tall date palms that grow with their pollen-bearing spathes stacked one upon another. He calls them tal nadid, layered spathes, and he places this image among the signs of his mercy on the earth. That golden pollen at the crown of the date palm is what the Tibb tradition called tal an-nakhl. Ibn Sina listed it as a heart strengthener of the highest order, a food that warms the inner core, nourishes the cardiac muscle, and restores vital strength when the body is weakening. Ibn al-Qayyim repeated this in Zad al-Ma'ad. And here is what modern research has now confirmed. A 2019 study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that date palm pollen extract significantly reduced oxidative stress in cardiac tissue. A 2021 paper in Antioxidants documented anti-atherosclerotic effects in animal models. The Quran named it. The Tibb scholars catalogued it. The science is now catching up. That was our countdown of the 15 Sunnah foods that strengthen your heart. May Allah grant you and your family complete shifa. If this list reminded you of something your grandmother used to make, share it in the comments. And in our next video, we will be taking a closer look at the Sunnah foods that sharpen the mind. Bismillah, until then.